All right, so today I am on the HappyRun G70 and I partnered with HappyRun for this video to show you this electric bike, which they're advertising as an electric cargo bike. And that's because you can carry a few things on this thing. So you can carry yourself, but also they do have an option for a rear rack, which I think they are including in your purchase with this for a promotion. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but you can always throw that on the back of this bike and then strap some things down to it. And then also they have this really nice, cool additional seat that's rated to carry like a child up to around like 33 pounds or so. And it does have a back to it so they can sit nicely on it. And also this bike does come with some foot pegs as well, so they can rest their feet on them. But yeah, if you're just trying to carry yourself though, this bike is good for one rider.
And with this bike, you do now have two color options. So you have this green color that you can go with, or you can go with the black color that I'm riding on today.
And the regular price for this bike is $2,299, but right now it is on sale for $1,399. And this bike has an 1,000-watt motor that does peak out at 2,000 watts. And this bike is a dual battery design. So the top battery comes in with a capacity of 20 amp hours and the bottom comes in at 18 amp hours, so a total of 38 amp hours. And you can take both of the batteries off individually if you wanted to. It comes with keys for both of them. You can just take them off and then take them inside and charge them, or you can always leave the batteries on the bike. But one thing you don't see all dual battery e-bikes come with is two chargers inside of the box, but this bike does come with two chargers, so you can charge up both batteries at the same time. As far as range, they're saying you can get up to 85 miles with this bike using both batteries. Now, again, you don't have to use both batteries on this bike at the same time. So if you are taking like a shorter trip, maybe just going to the grocery store, just going to work or something, and you know you don't need that full 85, you can always take off one of these batteries using the included keys and then just keep that inside, decrease the weight of the bike, and then now you can still get to your destination. But if you are trying to be out all day long and you don't want to have any type of range anxiety, you can just always just keep both of those batteries on this bike.
Now, one thing about the dual battery setup that I have on my 2024 version of this bike is that there is this battery switch that you have to hit to be able to switch between the two batteries, so it doesn't do it automatically. So once one battery dies, you hit that switch and then it'll switch power over to the other battery and then you can continue to ride. But new with the 2025 version of this bike, they have added a battery balancer, so this will simultaneously use power from both batteries at the same time, so no need for that switch.
As far as tires, this bike does have 20 by 4-inch fat tires, the typical size for e-bikes, but these tires are a little bit knobbier, so the treading is a little bit more aggressive than some of these kind of stock 20 by 4-inch fat tires that I see. So I like that. And these allow you to get just a little bit more traction over the road, especially if it's like a little bit dirty and slippery and stuff. And also you do get front and rear plastic fenders on these to help protect you from splashes and things. And then also this bike does come in with dual suspension, and both of the suspension are adjustable, so you can adjust them to get that proper bounciness that you might want for your particular type of weight or whatever you're going to be carrying on the bike. But yeah, one of my best parts about this bike is going to be this very long seat. And so I like this motorcycle type of style seat because it gives you some room to be able to move forward and backwards. And so depending on how tall you are, this is a good thing. Now let's keep looking around the design of the bike. So again, I like the motorcycle style. The cable management is really nice and tight and buttoned down, so nothing is kind of like flopping around or anything. And also you do get a motorcycle inspired headlight up front that is big and bright. And also you do get turn signals that are on the front and also on the back for good visibility. And then on the back, you do have a tail light / brake light, so it will brighten up a little bit brighter when you do engage the brakes. Now in this video, when you look at the display on this bike, it will be flickering, but in real life, it doesn't flicker like that. That's just because of the camera settings and stuff. But one thing I will say about the display is that it is nice and colorful. I really like the layout of it, but when you are riding in direct sunlight, it is pretty hard to read. You kind of have to put your hand over it sometimes to be able to see what's going on.
Now, this audio clip you're hearing right now is after I filmed this video, but HappyRun has actually listened to people when they had their complaints about the display, and they have now added a visor to the display to help with the reflection from the sun and stuff like that. So it should be easier to read on all new bikes going forward.
Okay, so now for my speed test here. So let's do the throttle only test in 3, 2, 1, boom, here we go. All righty. 8 miles per hour, 11, 12, 13, 14, according to my GPS app. 20 miles per hour on the bike's display. At 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. GPS app is showing 24, 27 on the bike's display. Beautiful day out here in St. Louis too. All right, we had 28, 25 on my GPS app. All right, we hit 29 miles per hour on the bike's display, 26 GPS app. All right, so it looks like I am topping out at 29 miles per hour according to the bike's display. Can we hit 30 maybe? All right, still showing 29, 27 on the GPS app on my phone. But yeah, I think that's about where we're gonna tap out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and again, test out these hydraulic disc brakes here. Very nice, smooth and steady. Come to a stop there. So now let me go ahead and try out the pedal assist here. I am on pedal assist level 5. This is a cadence sensor, so it will take a couple of seconds there for it to kick in. But we are at 20 miles per hour, and I can already tell this is definitely going to be a throttle first bike for me. Yeah, 25, 26 miles per hour. Now, I'm around 6 feet tall, so pedaling, my knees come up a little bit, but the good thing with having a longer seat like the one of this bike is that I can scoot back a little bit, and that definitely helps out. But yeah, I'm going to be using this bike though throttle first, in my opinion, just for my height and the way my legs are. And so this company does advertise that this bike can go up to 36 miles per hour on their website. And I have seen some people in their reviews get up to around like 32, sometimes 33 miles per hour. But in the manuals and stuff, it does say up to 32 miles per hour, which I think is going to be more kind of accurate. And for more higher powered e-bikes, that's about the norm, 32, 33 miles per hour. Now, as far as how it feels to pedal, I am 6 feet tall, so my knees do come up a little bit in this normal position. But the good thing is that if I am pedaling a lot, I can scoot back on this long seat to make that a little bit easier on me. So it's definitely not the worst that I've used when it comes to a kind of a shorter type of bike like this for someone my size. But definitely I feel like this bike is a throttle first bike. Using this half twist throttle here on the right hand side is going to be the most used way that I am going to be riding this bike. All right, so now for my cobblestone test. So this test is pretty rough when I'm going over e-bikes, but this bike is super, super comfy. As far as rider height, this bike is rated to handle riders between 5'1" and 6'5", and also has a maximum payload capacity of 330 pounds. So this means that, you have a pretty good range there for people to be able to ride this bike, but that total capacity as far as the weight is going to be with what you are carrying with the rear rack if you are using that. Now, this company does include 2 NFC cards in the box with this bike, and that's how you will unlock it. So basically, you just hit this green start button, and then that will turn the bike on. And then now you just need to tap one of those NFC cards on the display. Now, on the left-hand side of the handlebars, you will find the controls for the bike. And then also on the right-hand side, you will find the controls for the 7-speed Shimano shifter. And this bike does have 160 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes, which I'm going to test right now. These brakes are quiet, but have some really good stopping power. So I feel pretty confident in these brakes. And okay, so this has been my video on the HappyRun G70. The sun is out right now. It is blinding me, but I'm going to drop a link down below to this bike in the description of this video. And if I have any type of promotion codes or discount codes, I will be dropping those down in the description as well. So make sure you take advantage of that, especially if it is an affiliate link. That does help support this channel, and I do appreciate it. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.